You know, we need more outsiders in Washington, business people like President Trump. I mean, let's just take a minute and realize what President Trump got done for America in less than a year. We have discovered a vaccine in less than a year. It's truly miraculous. Right, yes, that's right. This is going to change our lives for the better to get past this pandemic. That's what David and I have been fighting for every single day. We got to get back past this pandemic and then rebuild our economy. Our kids need to be back in school. We need to pass more pandemic relief. That's what I've been trying to do. In fact, I was in Washington. Yeah, we need to do it today. That's right. We've got to get it done. But you know what's happening in Washington is the Democrats over and over have rejected bills that David and I have supported on the floor. We haven't passed them. We have supported to repurpose existing funds. It's easy to do. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have said no. They want blue state bailouts. They want to defund the police.
Even during her own rally, Kelly Loeffler's supporters recognize the fact that while she grandstands about delivering relief to people, she's in the majority and they have failed to actually deliver any relief to people since March. And so while she spouts her platitudes, you can literally hear her own supporters tell her to stop talking about it and just to do it already. It's almost like lying that you can't get anything done when you're already a senator and already in the majority isn't the best strategy after all. And granted, none of that is for lack of trying on the left. Democrats passed the HEROES Act in May and is now rotting away in the Senate, where it's languished on McConnell's desk ever since. In that bill, every eligible American would have received another $1,200 check. Even now, in this latest round of negotiations, the sticking point is quite literally that Democrats are demanding direct relief to Americans, while McConnell, representing the Republican caucus, is pushing back on direct relief and instead focused on liability shields for corporations, meaning that corporations are protected from litigation from their employees if they get sick while being forced to work during a pandemic. In other words, Democrats are trying to put money in the hands of Americans, Republicans are looking to limit Americans' ability to seek restitution to keep money in the hands of corporations. That about sum up each side's priorities for you? But this is what Republicans do. They'll grandstand about an issue that's not only clearly popular, but is a Democratic position, co-opt it for an election, and then never actually move it an inch once it's time to govern. They did the same thing with healthcare, quite literally running on protecting coverage for pre-existing conditions, even though it was their party that has tried more than 70 times to overturn the ACA, which is the one and only law we have that protects coverage for pre-existing conditions. Why? Because they know Democrats' agenda is popular and theirs isn't, so they just lie and pretend that the left's positions are their own, and conservative media helps them out by reiterating those lies, and then when nothing changes because that was never their position to begin with, they just pretend it was all the Democrats' fault for obstructing. The entire process is predicated on lying to their own supporters every step of the way. And beyond their fake policy proposals, there's also the usual culture war wedge issue BS that Republicans see as their bread and butter. It's referring to socialism and the Second Amendment and abortion and guns and taxes, and sometimes, if you're really lucky, you'll get all of them at once.
The radical agenda of the abortion on demand that Democrats want, that attacks our Second Amendment rights. They want to take away our guns. They want to tax guns, and they want to fundamentally change America, and radical liberal Raphael Warnock is their agent of change.
Not even an effort to make her sentences coherent anymore. The only thing she's concerned with is filling empty space with Fox News buzzwords. So ignore the same tired platitudes from Kelly Loeffler, because platitudes are all they are. She's already proven from her time in the Senate that she's not interested in helping her constituents, she's interested in padding her stock portfolio. She's interested in getting richer, all while refusing to lift a finger to help those less wealthy than she is. That's why, after a senator's-only coronavirus briefing on January 24th, she dumped millions of dollars worth of stocks. And yet now, as a US senator, she's not offered a word in support of the HEROES Act or any bill to deliver direct relief to the American people. Because for the umpteenth time, she's there to serve herself and herself alone. So Kelly Loeffler will continue to run on a record that she doesn't own. She'll continue to make promises that she has no intention of keeping, but the facts speak for themselves. What we have now is the results of a Republican Senate, which is to say, no relief, no extension of unemployment insurance, just the same check from 9 months ago. Republicans don't care if you're struggling because they are doing fine, and Kelly Loeffler has probably benefited the most among all of them. If you like this video, please check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I take a deep dive into the week's most important stories and interview major players in politics, including Kamala Harris, Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Eric Swalwell, Mary Trump, Al Franken, Cory Booker, and many, many more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts.